I asked the Life of Mom community in a poll if they had a favorite child, and the numbers are in. I also asked if you had a favorite parent, a favorite sibling, a favorite friend, and if your partner is your best friend. And a ton of you voted, and it was really interesting, the results. So the first question was, do you have a favorite child? Now, a little bit later, I will go into I have a whole theory on favorite children and how and why I think there is something to be said about having a favorite child. But I will get to that in a second. I wanted to kind of give you guys the poll results from yesterday's poll, which was, do you have a favorite child? And out of well over 1,000 people voted, 27% of people said they do in fact have a favorite child, and 73% said they do not have a favorite child. So that was interesting. But then when I asked if you have a favorite parent, actually 56% of you said, yes, I do have a favorite parent, and 44% of you said no. I asked also if you had a favorite sibling. I was surprised by this number. I was surprised it wasn't higher. Only 48% of you said, yes, I have a favorite sibling. 52% of you said, no, I don't have a favorite sibling, which I thought for sure families had favorite siblings. Like, I thought that was the thing. So I was expecting that number to be really high. I asked you guys if you had a favorite friend, and 78% of you said, yes, I have a favorite friend. 22% of you said no. And then I asked, is your partner, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, whoever it is, significant other, are they your best friend? And 66% of you said yes. 34% of you said no. Okay, so I was really intrigued. I loved if you voted in my little poll in my Life of Mom Instagram stories. First of all, thank you for voting. It was super fascinating to see how you guys voted and what you guys voted, and the results of it. I will give you my answers because, I think it's only fair that I asked this of you. I may as well tell you what I voted. But I will end with the favorite child poll because I actually have a theory on this. So I'll go backwards. Is Tom, my husband Tom, who is my partner in life, is he my best friend? I voted no. I have some really, really close, amazing, lifelong friends that I am, they're my best friends, and I love Tom with all my heart. He's my partner in life, but he is not my best friend. I have best friends, not him. Well, he's certainly a best friend to me, but I would say he is not my best friend. Do you have a favorite friend? Yes, I do. So I voted yes. I was part of the 78% of you. I will not say who my best friend is because I don't want to leave anybody out. And then ask if you have a favorite sibling. Do you guys have, I want to hear from you guys whether or not you voted in the poll or not. Let me know your answers to these questions because I'm really intrigued. Like, do you have a favorite child and why? Do you have a favorite sibling, a favorite parent, a favorite friend? Is your spouse your favorite, is your best friend? All of these answers, I'd love to hear your feedback. I think it'd be really interesting. Yes, I voted yes for favorite sibling. I absolutely am the youngest of 12 kids, and I have a favorite sibling. Sometimes it changes year to year, but overall, for sure, I have a favorite sibling. I won't tell you which one though. And when I asked if I had a favorite parent, I do not. I am absolutely obsessed with both my parents, so I do not have a favorite parent. Now, let's talk about favorite children. I am going to give my theory on favorite children, and I want to know from you guys if you feel like this is an accurate depiction of favorite child. Okay. I believe you do have a favorite child. My theory is it's not about having a favorite child, it's about having a favorite stage your child is in. So for example, I love the baby stage. So if I have a child in the baby stage, they are my favorite child just by default, because I love, 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 love baby stages. So that's always the case. Whoever's the baby in the family, they are my favorite child. Now, there's certain stages that are not my favorite. So if they're in that stage, they're most likely not my favorite child. And that is 3 to 4 years old. Thank the heavens I have gotten past that window with my kids. But I have found 3 to 4 year old are so difficult. I haven't got into the teenage years, but I have heard that 3-year-olds are like equivalent of teenagers. That's why they're called three-nagers. My dog is dreaming and banging against the wall. Duchess. So do you guys agree with me on this, my theory, that you don't have a favorite child, but you do have favorite stages in which that almost kind of makes you have a favorite child when they're in these stages or when they're in these undesirable stages? Is this an accurate depiction? I'm curious to know. Because I'm the youngest of 12 kids, I've had the gift of being able to observe my older siblings with their kids. And I feel like my theory is proven true because I see some of my siblings absolutely thrive and cruise through the teenage years, and other siblings that were like totally struggling during the teenage years, but yet they were really good with elementary age kids, or like the one who's cruising through teenage years really struggled when they were babies. Yes, Miss M says absolutely. Hey Ashley, I love seeing your face too. I hope you're well. Melissa, I am grateful for you. Thank you for saying that. So like right now, my kids are 11, 9, and 6. And I definitely am having some favoritism based on the stage and window of life they're in. I won't tell you who I'm favoring, but I would definitely say there is someone that's kind of leading the pack as far as just being a lot easier to parent. And certainly when life gets hard, you certainly like the, whenever it can be easy, right? Okay, I got some feedback. I think when we say we have a favorite child is often our favorite version of ourselves as mothers, which aligns with the favorite stage. Hold up. This is the best perspective I've ever seen or read, or yes, I think there's something. Okay, sorry, I'm taking in this comment because it is so brilliant. So kind of leading into my favorite stage of life, she says your favorite child is often your favorite version of yourselves as mothers. I love this comment so much, and I could not agree more with you. Yes, because I think I rocked the baby stage. I think I was such a good mom during the baby stage, so that makes perfect sense that I favor that window of time, whereas I have horrible patience. So 3 and 4 year olds, if you know 3 and 4 year olds, you know you need a lot of patience with 3 and 4 year olds. So I was not a good mom, and I didn't really like myself. And if we're being honest, this past year during the pandemic, I have not enjoyed my version of mothering. I don't think I've done that great of a job, but I also try to allow myself some grace, knowing that it's hard, and it's been hard on quite a few people, so I'm not alone. Rosemary says, exactly, I had my son at 21 and my daughter at 30. Everyone says I favor my daughter, but I feel like I grew as a mother and I'm better at it now. I love that. I love that perspective. Certainly, I think there's truth to it. I'm gonna read off some birth order, not stereotypes. This is what I read in an article, and they said, according to the birth order, these people are like. Anyways, I'll get to that. Why don't I just start with that instead of going to it later? Because I think there's a lot of truth to what you're saying, Rosemary. I think when you grow as a mother, as the youngest of 12 kids, I know I always bring this up, but I feel like by the time I came around, my parents had really tremendous perspective on life, right? So they realized what really mattered, what was super important, and what wasn't that big of a deal, right? So I feel like by the time I came around, they were maybe a little bit more lenient with me because they had gone through so much with my other siblings. But at the same time, they also knew, what was really important and impactful. They had learned so much by going through and raising each kid. I think each kid, you learn so much about yourself. So, there are benefits to all of the birth orders, right? So I'm going to kind of give you guys some of these. Hi, Janae. And in the meantime, as I'm reading this off, I would love to know from you guys what birth order you are in. Are you the firstborn? Are you the baby of the family? Are you a middle child? Please, 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 in the comments, leave and tell me what birth order you're in. And if you want, what birth order your kids, well, I guess you have multiple birth orders. So here's what I read in an article about birth orders. So the firstborns are more intelligent. The youngest are more creative. Middle children move further away. Middle children are the peacemakers. Firstborns are natural leaders. And you guys tell me if any of these ring true to the birth orders in your family. Middle children are more sociable. Middle children are often opposite of their other sibling. Younger siblings are more manipulative. I am the younger one. I don't know how I feel about that. Firstborns relate to adults better, which makes sense. Over half of the U.S. presidents were middle children. Middle children make great partners, which I can attest to because my husband's a middle child and he puts up with me and I can be a lot. So he does make a great partner in that sense. The youngest sibling gets away with more. Absolutely true in every regard. True from my personal experience being the youngest and my daughter, who's the youngest now. Firstborns are more anxious. Middle children are going extinct, which actually, yeah, because there's a lot of families, either only child or 2 or less. Firstborns seek approval. Middle children work to find their place. So I found that really interesting, that all of these, I'm not quite sure if I agree with all of it. I think I'm kind of a peacemaker. I'm pretty anxious. But overall, I'm definitely creative. I can probably be a little manipulative to get my way. So there's probably some truth to that and science behind all of it. Janae is the oldest of 4 that I know of. Rosemary, I'm the only girl out of 5 and am the baby of the family. Oh, Rosemary, that I know your family dynamic then, right? You are the princess. Yeah, I can absolutely post the list later to show your family. Great idea. I will copy and paste it and put it in the comments down here so you guys can check it out and order it. Or maybe I'll make a little meme of it. That would be fun. I'm curious how that theory about stages holds up or changes as the kids become adults. Also, how gender plays a role. I think I'm my mom's favorite, and I'm the only girl, says Ashley. Here's the thing. I think I was my mom's favorite. I was convinced of it. And when she passed away, my sister was like, you don't understand. Mom made all of us feel like we were her favorites. And I was like dumbfounded by this because I'm like, no. I'm pretty sure mom's life revolves around me. And to know that she made so many of my siblings feel just as loved and just as special, I think that's a gift that moms do, that they make us think we're the favorite, right? But I agree with you. I do think it's interesting how those stages hold up. I will tell you this. Tom, my husband, is the only boy with 3 sisters. And I'm pretty sure his mom talks to her daughters, my sister-in-laws, like regularly, if not daily basis, and only talks to Tom like once a week, if even that. And there's like a running joke in his family that he's the favorite, he's the prince, he can do no wrong. Even though he was a middle child, he was the only boy. So he is definitely the prince of the family. And I can see that, having my 2 girls, I am definitely obsessed with my son. And I do think the gender definitely plays a role to an extent. Like people say, boys are harder